Imagine this. In just 30 days, you're speaking English so confidently that strangers stop you to ask, "Where did you learn to speak like that?" No more stuttering, no more fear, no more blanking out when someone asks you a question in English. That sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not. Welcome to the Speak English Fluently podcast, where we're about to unlock the secrets to mastering English faster than you ever thought possible. Today's episode is all about real change, and I can't wait to dive in.
Thanks so much, Sarah. I'm thrilled to be here. Honestly, English used to terrify me. As a teenager moving to the UK, I could barely string a sentence together. I'd freeze in conversations, mix up words, and constantly worry about people judging my accent. But once I realized that building confidence was more important than being perfect, everything changed. Suddenly, I started seeing real progress.
That's such a powerful shift, James. I think so many listeners can relate to that fear of making mistakes or feeling embarrassed in real-life situations. Can you share a specific story when you recognized that confidence was the real key to breaking through your language barriers?
Absolutely. There was this moment in a London coffee shop where I wanted to order a latte, but I was so nervous about my accent and making mistakes. I practiced my order silently over and over, and finally just said it mistakes and all. The barista smiled, understood me, and even complimented my effort. That experience proved to me that people care more about connecting than about perfect grammar or pronunciation. From then on, I pushed myself to speak up, even if I wasn't flawless.
That's a fantastic story, James. It really shows that taking risks pays off. I know a lot of our listeners struggle with self-doubt. What's one practical tip they can use today to start building their English confidence, even if they feel nervous or unsure?
One of my favorite techniques is the mirror challenge. Every day, stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself in English for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter what topic, just get comfortable hearing your own voice and expressing your thoughts out loud. This builds confidence, helps you think in English, and gradually reduces the anxiety you feel when speaking to others. It felt strange at first, but it works wonders.
The mirror challenge is such a simple but powerful exercise. I encourage everyone listening to give it a try tonight eve. If it feels silly at first, it's a great way to practice. Now, let's talk about vocabulary. Many learners believe they need to know thousands of words before they can speak fluently. Is that really the case, or is there a smarter way to approach vocabulary?
That's a common myth, Sarah. You don't need a huge vocabulary to communicate effectively. In fact, you can have meaningful conversations with just 0 high-frequency words. The key is to focus on words you'll actually use every day and to learn them in context. Instead of memorizing endless lists, try remembering words as part of sentences or stories. It's about quality, not just quantity.
So, you're saying that memorizing every word in the dictionary isn't necessary? That's such a relief for many learners. Can you give our audience a quick exercise or method to help them remember and use new vocabulary more naturally?
Absolutely. I recommend the context method. Choose 5 useful words like happy, tired, excited, busy, and hungry. Write a sentence about your own life using each word, such as, "I'm excited because I'm listening to this podcast." Say those sentences out loud every day for a week. By using these words in real-life contexts, you'll remember them much more effectively and be able to use them confidently in conversation.
That's such a practical approach, James. It reminds me of how we remember song lyrics because they're part of a story or melody. Listeners, I encourage you to pause the podcast, grab a notebook, and try that exercise right now. You'll be amazed at how quickly new words become second nature.
Exactly. And remember, repetition is key. Don't just look at a word once and move on. The more you use a new word in different situations, the more naturally it will come to you when you're speaking. This method also helps you avoid the trap of learning words you never actually use in daily conversation.
Now, let's shift gears to pronunciation. This is a big concern for many of our listeners. They worry about not sounding like a native speaker or being misunderstood. What advice do you have for learners who are self-conscious about their accent or pronunciation?
Pronunciation can feel intimidating, but it's not about erasing your accent or sounding exactly like a native. The real goal is clarity, making sure other people can understand you. English is a stress-timed language, so some syllables are naturally stronger than others. For example, in the word important, the stress falls on the second syllable, I am important. Focusing on stress and rhythm rather than perfection makes a huge difference in how natural and confident you sound.
That's such an important distinction, James. Listeners, it's worth repeating. Clarity matters more than chasing a perfect accent. Are there any simple techniques people can practice to improve their pronunciation, especially with tricky words or sentences?
One effective technique is shadowing. Listen to a short audio clip from a native speaker, then repeat what you hear, trying to match the stress, rhythm, and intonation. You can use podcasts, YouTube videos, or even movie scenes. This helps train your ear and mouth to produce English sounds more naturally, and you'll start to notice improvement in both your pronunciation and confidence.
Stress and rhythm, that's new to me. Can you break it down for us? I know listeners might have heard these terms, but understanding how to use them in daily conversation seems challenging. What's the practical takeaway when it comes to using stress and rhythm in English?
Sure. Think of English like music. Every sentence has a beat. For example, say this: I want to learn English. The stressed words are want, learn, and English. Try it. I want to learn English. Exaggerate the stress at first to feel the rhythm. Over time, it becomes natural and helps your speech sound more connected and lively.
Okay, I'm trying it. I want to learn English. Wow, that does feel different. Listeners, try saying that sentence with James's rhythm. It's like dancing with words. James, what's a fun way to practice this so it doesn't feel awkward or forced?
One of my favorites is the movie mimic. Pick a short clip from an English movie or show something with clear dialogue, like Friends or The Office. Watch a 30-second scene, pause, and repeat the lines exactly like the actors. Copy their stress, rhythm, and even their tone. It's like karaoke for speaking, and it trains your ear and mouth to sync up with native speakers.
Movie mimic? I'm stealing that for myself. Listeners, imagine practicing English by mimicking your favorite characters. That sounds so fun. James, you're dropping gold here. Before we move on, let's talk about one more thing: listening skills. Why are they so important for speaking fluently?
Listening is the secret sauce, Sarah. You can't speak well if you don't understand what's being said. But here's the catch. It's not about passive listening, like having a podcast on in the background. You need active listening where you focus on the words, phrases, and emotions. When I was learning, I'd listen to short audio clips and try to repeat what I heard, word for word. It trained my brain to process English in real time.
Active listening, that's a game changer. Can you share a specific tool or resource our listeners can use to practice active listening and really accelerate their progress?
One of my go-tos is podcasts like this one. But seriously, start with beginner-friendly podcasts or YouTube channels. I recommend BBC Learning English or English Addict with Mr. Steve. Listen to a 5-minute clip, pause every sentence, and repeat what you hear. Write down new words or phrases. Do this daily, and your listening and speaking will level up fast.
That's such a doable tip. Listeners, you're already listening to this podcast, so you're halfway there. Just add that active listening twist. James, I'm loving this. We've covered confidence, vocabulary, pronunciation, and listening. What's next on our fluency journey?
Let's talk about speaking practice. All these skills come together when you actually speak. One mistake learners make is waiting until they're ready to talk. Spoiler, you'll never feel ready. You have to start now, even if it's messy. The more you try, the quicker you'll improve.
Oh, that hits home. I bet a lot of our listeners are waiting for that perfect moment. What's a practical way to start speaking today, even if you feel nervous or unprepared?
Find a speaking buddy. It could be a friend, a language exchange partner, or even an online community. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk are great for this. Set a goal to speak for 10 minutes a day in English, even if it's just chatting about the weather. The more you talk, the easier it gets, and the faster your fluency grows.
A speaking buddy that's so doable. Listeners, who's going to be your speaking buddy? Tag them in the comments. James, this is all so actionable. I feel like we're already on our way to fluency. Let's keep this momentum going. What's another speaking tip or advanced strategy our listeners should try next?
Role-playing is huge. Pretend you're in a real-life situation like ordering food, giving a presentation, or meeting a new friend. Practice the phrases you'd use out loud. For example, if you're role-playing a job interview, say, "Hi, I'm here for the interview. I have 5 years of experience in marketing. It builds muscle memory for real conversations."
Role-playing? That sounds like acting class. I love it. Listeners, try role-playing a coffee shop order tonight maybe, even record yourself and share it with us. James, you're making this so fun and practical. I can't wait to dive deeper, but let's take a quick breather and remind our audience about something exciting.
Absolutely, Sarah. The course is like having me and a team of experts in your pocket. We've packed it with everything: vocabulary hacks, pronunciation drills, confidence boosters, and real-world practice. It's the exact roadmap I wish I had when I was learning. If you're serious about fluency, this course will get you there.
Soft phrases, that's so helpful. Can you share a real-life example of how you handled a tough moment? Sometimes those situations feel impossible, especially when emotions run high or there's a misunderstanding. But I know our listeners would love a concrete story about how to stay calm and clarify things when the conversation gets difficult.
Oh, I've got one. Early in my career, I had a meeting where my boss misunderstood my idea. I was nervous, but I said, "I think there's a mix-up. Can I explain again?" Then I rephrased my point slowly. It worked. He appreciated my effort, and we moved forward. The lesson? Don't panic, just clarify and keep the conversation polite.
That's so inspiring. Listeners, next time you're stuck, try that "Can I explain again" line. James, what if someone's worried about offending someone by accident, especially when they're not sure about the cultural context or the right words to use?
Cultural sensitivity is key. If you think you've misspoken, apologize simply. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way." Then rephrase. Also, learn a few cultural norms like in some cultures, direct no answers can seem rude. So soften it with "maybe not" or "I'm not sure." Watching local media helps you pick up these nuances.
Cultural norms, that's such a pro tip. James, you're making tough conversations feel manageable. Let's talk about one more thing: building a personal speaking style. How do we make English ours so we're not just copying native speakers, but actually expressing our own personality and story in a new language?
This is my favorite part, Sarah. Fluency isn't just about copying native speakers, it's about expressing you. Your personality, humor, and story should shine through. For example, I love telling jokes, so I learned English phrases that let me be funny, like, "That's hilarious," or "You're pulling my leg."
I can totally see your humor coming through. How can our listeners find their own style? Is there a concrete exercise or method people can use to figure out what phrases or expressions really match who they are in English?
Start by thinking about who you are in your native language. Are you chatty? Sarcastic? Warm? Write down 3 adjectives that describe you, then learn English phrases that match. If you're warm, for example, use, "That's so sweet," or "I'm so happy to hear that." Practice those until they feel like you.
Short comments to ease and love that. Listeners, try saying "I agree" in your next group chat. James, these roadblock fixes are gold. Let's wrap this section with one more tip. What else can help learners push through those common moments when they blank on a word, get nervous, or feel like they can't keep up with fast group conversations?
One last one. Visualize success. Before a big conversation like a job interview or meeting, close your eyes and picture yourself speaking confidently. Imagine the words flowing, people smiling. It sounds woo-woo, but it primes your brain for success and helps you stay relaxed and present when it matters.
Visualize success. I'm doing that before my next podcast. Listeners, try that visualization trick and let us know how it feels. James, you're killing it. Let's set the stage for our final part. How can learners take all these skills out of the classroom and into real-world situations, like at restaurants or job interviews?
Real-world practice is where fluency comes alive. The key is to simulate common scenarios so you're ready when they happen. Start with easy situations like ordering food or chatting in a coffee shop. Memorize a go-to script, practice it at home, then use it in real life. Each small win builds your confidence.
Travel phrases that's perfect for our globe-trotting listeners. Let's do a quick role play. James, pretend I'm a hotel clerk. Go for it. And after that, let's zoom out. How can our listeners make sure they keep improving for years, not just weeks or months?
Laughs. Okay, Sarah. Hi, I have a reservation under James Patel. Can I check in now? Oh, and is breakfast included? For long-term fluency, it's all about habits. Create an English immersion bubble. Watch news. Read blogs. Text friends in English. Even 30 minutes a day. It's a lifestyle, not a sprint.
An English immersion bubble, that's so cool. How do we build one without moving to an English-speaking country? And what if we hit a plateau and feel stuck after a few months?
Easy. Swap one daily activity to English, set your phone's language, follow English YouTubers, or join a speaking club online. If you hit a plateau, try a new challenge, like a short speech or joining a book club. Teaching someone else is another way to deepen your skills and keep things fresh.